So, I have spent the last week and a half with all of the new Samsung devices that have been announced on 11th of August. So, this is the last part of that saga of review, which is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. Now, before we begin with the review, I need to clarify something. I did read somewhere that it says some of the features don't work with non-Samsung phones. So I just want to clarify that I am pairing the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic with the S21 Ultra that I have there. And so I don't have those kind of limitations or encountered any of them. So just keep that in mind. And with that out of the way, let's begin with the review. So a bit of introduction to the whole Galaxy Watch 4 series of smartwatches, because we have both the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 without the classic name, and that is technically the replacement for the active series of smartwatches. And then we have the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. It is the classical design with the rotary bezel, so here you go. And both the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 and Watch 4 Classic also comes in two different sizes each. So there are a total of 4 different choices for you to choose from, depending on if you want the rotating bezel or not, and also depending on what size you want. Now in terms of design, we have a much thinner rotating bezel and a sleeker design overall. Samsung retained the 2 buttons on the side of the watch, but they have changed in shape. They are now oblong instead of circular in shape, and now the home key also has a red ring around it. But the one thing that piqued my interest the most is actually the watch strap itself. So this watch strap is kind of oddly designed, and when I looked at a picture of it, it kind of struck me as odd because how Samsung designed this band is to protrude it inwards to the point where it literally tugs against the watch body. I didn't think of it much, and when I wore it on my wrist, it's even weirder because it left 2 huge gaps on the side of the watch. But then I realized the genius of this design. When I wanted to adjust the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic on my wrist, I realized the strap is designed to convert the watch to become a spring-like structure. So by tugging the watch strap against the watch body itself, it pushes down the entire watch to my wrist, but without the excessive over-tightening of the watch strap to get a good contact. But there's a quality of life improvement that I think is really worth mentioning, and sorry if I sound a bit like minute physics there, hope I didn't bore you. Anyway, the strap that we got here is the Ridge Sports Band. It's surprisingly comfortable, and combined with a spring-like structure, my wrist gets enough air to breathe, and it is also easily adjustable by pressing on both sides, and then I can wiggle the watch around. But for some reason, if you don't like the included watch strap, you can swap it out. All of the Galaxy Watch 4 series of smartwatches uses 20mm straps, so you can just remove them by pulling the pin and then the whole thing comes out. But how is it like to use the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic though? Well, we need to highlight one more thing, is that the Galaxy Watch 4 series of smartwatches is the first in the company's lineup to use the new operating system. I guess it's a new operating system since earlier this year Google and Samsung did a merger of both their smartwatch OS, so Samsung is now running on Wear OS. But Samsung did mention that it's using One UI Watch OS, so I guess it's something like Wear OS but with One UI Watch on top of it. And it looks and feels very similar to the Galaxy Watch Active that I've worn for years, which is using the older Tizen OS. Even the user interface to customize the watch face is identical as well. But since there's a shift in the operating system, one more thing that we definitely need to highlight is that if you bought all the third-party watch faces from the Galaxy store, do keep in mind that all of those watch faces do not work with the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic or the Galaxy Watch 4 in that matter, because the OS is different, so the App Store is different. Now you need to buy it from the Google Play Store instead. And speaking of the Google Play Store, there is a small segment dedicated to Wear OS, but it's quite barren there. What I found interesting is that the Telegram app has a dedicated Wear OS app too. That app works pretty well, but it does take quite a lot of time to sync up the stickers and whatnot. However, I can literally type a message and send it on the watch, or converse via voice clips directly on the watch itself. Hello, I'm recording this on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. Hello, I'm recording this on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. And after experiencing all of these apps on the watch itself, I really hope there's more developers jumping into Wear OS because, yeah, there's a lot of untapped potential there. And while on that subject, we should also talk about the Galaxy Wearables app interface. Again, it's completely different, and surprisingly, we can't do much with this app on the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. There are a few customization options here and there, but those customizations are things that we can already directly do on the watch itself if I want to. And in terms of features, the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic still have all of the workout stats tracking, steps tracking, GPS, NFC, Samsung Pay, all of those stuff. But what's new here is the bioactive sensor. Once we install the Samsung Health app, we can use the new body composition measurement feature where it can just do this, and the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic will measure our body composition and break it down to multiple different contributors to the user's mass. I can't verify how accurate these features are, but I'm just here to tell you that the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 has these features, and it's also telling me that I'm fat. However, ECG is still a feature that's not available in all countries, and here in Malaysia, as far as I know, ECG is still pending for approval, so I have no idea how long this will take, and I hope it will arrive to all users soon. And one feature that got an upgrade is actually sleep tracking. So, as you guys know, in our Galaxy Watch 3 review from last year, I did complain about how noisy my neighbors are. And since we are now more or less working from home most of the time, my neighbors got a lot noisier and I didn't have a good time at all. But one good feature that this watch has is that it can track my SpO2 level, blood oxygen level when I sleep, my heart rate, and all of the bells and whistles. I just turned all of those on to track my sleep. One particularly interesting feature is snoring detection and recording. Yes, this feature literally records your snoring sound, and all you have to do is just put your phone beside you and wear the watch when you sleep. I placed my phone at about half a meter away from my face, so that's okay. And now I'm gonna show you some very personal data of mine, so please don't make it weird, and also please subscribe because I'm showing you some embarrassing stuff. And now for the ultimate question, how's the battery life of the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic? Well, that is something that I cannot judge properly because I don't have anything to compare, but for all I can tell you, this watch can last barely 2 days. And how I wear this watch is literally by just strapping it onto my hands and never taking it out except when I need to shower. That's it. I've also been using the watch in auto brightness with a lot of notifications going in and out every day, so that might affect your battery life heavily. And also, I did realize that since I turn on all of the tracking features for sleeping, the battery consumption when I sleep is much higher than when I'm awake, so that's something that I think is worth pointing out as well. Usually for my use case, I think the battery can last for about 1.5 days. If you want to literally stretch it to 2 days, then it will be like 1 or 2% battery left, I guess. And one more thing that we need to highlight is that the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic does not have Google Assistant. I don't know why, but you just cannot install Google Assistant or change from Bixby to Google Assistant. And yes, Bixby is still existing in the watch. And finally, for the price, I should also mention that we're using the 46mm version of the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. So its price is gonna be 1,399 ringgit, which I think is a pretty okay price. They didn't really hike up that much from last year. In fact, I think Samsung did drop the price of most of their products this time around, including the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, the non-classic edition, which I think is good. So if you're planning to get a smartwatch that looks and feels smooth, yeah, did I also mention that there's a new chipset here for this watch? So all of the animations will look a lot better. And yeah, that's it. That's our review of the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. I still think it's a pretty good watch. It's just that I do wish to get the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 non-classic edition because I do like that design more than the one with a rotating bezel. So yeah, that's just personal preference. And I think it is time to upgrade my Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. This is the first generation of the Galaxy Watch Active, by the way. Yeah, it still works and I wear it all the time, but I think it's time to retire that watch for something more modern. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Also, remember to watch our review of the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and the Galaxy Z Flip 3. Yeah, goodbye.